is a combo deck. That is particularly interesting. I'll talk about what the combo is here in just a second. Just watching the past broadcast. Well, welcome. Hey, Helodice. Hey, toddler. So loud. You want to come in? You want to come in and hang out with Dad? What's going on? What's going on, bud? Alright, so we're going to play some Constructed. And this deck is is one of the many decks that abuses Azure Fate Sorceress. I'm sure if you've played Hex Constructed before, you've seen this card. Let's talk about it really quick. So we've got Mill and Flight Gems. Is this charged? We'll get you set up. What you think? I know, I can't believe it. There you go. Ooh. I love you, kid. Alright, so Azure Fate Sorceress by default has Flight and Mill Gems in it. So the combo finish in this deck is you have Azure Fate Sorceress, and then you have other various Inspire troops like Cerulean Mirror Knight and Shield Trainer and Jags, Blade Master. And you put a Lady Shimmer into play with Azure Fate Sorceress either in play or in your crypt, and then Lady Shimmer copies and then like instantly mills your opponent out. So it's an interesting take on basically combo mill with Azure Fate Sorceress. We have 3 copies of Blessings of the Fallen, which allows our troops to inspire from the crypt. So like I mentioned, Azure Fate Sorceress doesn't even have to be in play. You can have Blessings of the Crypt and have her in the discard pile. We have things like Dream Dance to discard things like Lady Shimmer into the crypt and then put them into play with Rutherford Banks, our champion. So the deck's it's an interesting take on a combo mill deck, and like I said, my buddy's he's 5'1" and 5'2" a couple of gauntlets now, so I wanted to give it a try. Oh, I'm in the wrong game channel. That would help. Update. Change the title, did not change the game. Whoops. So this shard is a triple shard when we have a human and we've got Lady Shimmer, Shield Trainer, and Azure Fate Sorceress. We're going to keep this. This is a Crackling Vortex. It gives us 2 charges towards our champion power, but it it doesn't give us a threshold, so hopefully we can find some more resources with this Arcane Focus. So we're going to get our Sapphire here so we can cast Arcane Focus. What's the tent behind me? It's a blow-up playhouse for my children. I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. Well, Mirror Knight's not the worst card to find. If we're not going to have, the ability to find a shard like we wanted, at least this is a castable card that's fairly powerful. So a lot of the troops in the deck, like I said, the deck's based around this Inspire mechanic, which basically If a card has Inspire, whenever a troop that has a cost equal to or greater than it enters play, it gains some kind of bonus. So the Cerulean Mirror Knight makes sure other troops draw cards when they die, which is sweet. How do you want, Fred? Alright, well, I found a shard. It wasn't a diamond shard like we would ideally want, but that's fine. So I'll go ahead and put our Mirror Knight into play. Wouldn't be surprised if this just eats a Crackling Bolt or a burn. This card's pretty potent if we get to start putting draw a card onto all of our other troops if they die. Yep, he's just going to go ahead and burn out my Mirror Knight. So next turn we get to play this Lanopause Sight, which is a prophecy card which adds lines of text to other cards in our deck. So this is basically, it's a 3-cost delayed draw 3, makes the next action, resource, and troop in our deck each draw a card. I forgot to start recording. That's fine, I'll just download the archive. And ooh. So this card's kind of sweet. So this is has an ability whenever we gain a charge, we add storm counters to this, and we sacrifice this to create stormlings for each counter on it. And this gives us 2 charges when we play it. So I have a choice to make here. I can play my Storm Cloud and then play Crackling Vortex to give it 2 counters, and I think that's what I'm going to do. It's not completely resource efficient. It's possible I'm supposed to just like play the Crackling Vortex and then play Lanopause Sight, but I really don't want to pass the opportunity to play that and activate this. So what this does when we activate it is we sacrifice it, and then it gives us a random Stormling for each counter on it. So basically we turn that guy into 2/1/1 flyers. But it's not bad. 2 costs, 2 resources for 2/1/1 flyers, and these guys have different abilities. So we can sacrifice this guy to deal 2 damage to an exhausted troop, and we can sacrifice this guy to exhaust something. So if he ships with this Thunderfield Seer, I'm going to go ahead and trade my old Thunder Puff here for it. Yep. Get our Blockaroonie on here. Hey, Murderpunk. Another Lanopause Sight. Okay, so we're missing a shard drop this turn, but we are going to get a whole bunch of draws in the bank here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and ship with my Biddy Bolt, because if my opponent attacks with his 3/2, we can sacrifice this as a quick action to deal 2 damage to it. There's another Thunderfield Elder. So this card, you can see the animation goes towards my opponent's decks, kind of like my card did. This card's a prophecy for my opponent. So the next action that my opponent draws might even copy itself twice. So how does the combo work? The combo is based around Azure Fate Sorceress and other Inspire troops and Lady Shimmer. So Lady Shimmer copies herself for every time she was inspired. She get a bunch of echoes of Shimmer. Echo of Lady Shimmer. And basically you just put a bunch of Inspire guys out, including Azure Fate Sorceress, and then play Lady Shimmer and mill them an entire bunch. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and play... I'm going to play Dream Dance here because it draws a card when we play it, so this gives us a chance to hit a shard. And this says, troops in our deck gain when they enter play, draw, and then discard a card. So we're going to play Arcane Focus here, hopefully find a shard. That's perfect. I want this diamond shard so we can start playing out our diamond troops. And this one was prophesized as well by our Lanopause Sight, so it draws a card when we play it. I'm going to go ahead and play my Shield Trainer out here. And this is another Inspire card that inspires things to give them plus toughness. And so Rutherford Banks, this is a champion that's not super popular, so if you haven't seen this before, for 7 charges, Rutherford Banks gets to take a troop from our crypt and put it back into play under our control. So this Dream Dance that we played that lets all of our troops draw and discard cards, it can let us draw and then discard Lady Shimmer and then put her back into play with... Well, that's really good. So this card that keeps copying itself here, this is the result of my opponent's Thunderfield Elders, like I mentioned. And... that drew a card for each one that he played from the Thunderfield Seer, and then it, yeah, so we're probably dead here. We're getting attacked for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to 5. I'm going to be dead in the air next turn. It's unfortunate. Yeah, it's really unfortunate that we missed a shard last turn and had to like cantrip to find it, because if we would have been able to play Edge or Fate Sorceress last turn, we actually would have gotten to mill over his Prophecy card, because this has a bury cards off the top of their library when it comes into play. Unfortunately, it looks like we're just... I guess we're technically not just dead. If he doesn't have a removal spell and he doesn't have a second Gobbler, this has Flight and can block his one Gobbler, and then we only take 4 and go to 1. I think we're drawing dead at that point, but we'll keep playing and find out. Oh, I guess I could have played this. This has... I forgot that we had Prophesized Troop coming up, so this would have drawn a card, and then we would have gotten to draw and discard a card from the Dream Dance that we played. Pause sight, sure. So if he doesn't have a burn or a crackling bolt, oh, he has another activation here. So yeah, so we're dead exactly. We can block one of his troops, and then we take 5. GG, opponent. So sideboard, reserves, whatever you want to call it. What do we want to do? I like that this card's sweet in this matchup. When it enters play, it deals damage to an opposing troop for each card that inspired it, so I like bringing in an extra copy of that. Transmogrifade is medium. Buccaneer is not great, so Buccaneer returns a troop my opponent controls to their hand and makes it cost a little bit more. So a lot of my opponent's troops are fairly cheap. He's got this extra resource on the board for when we board in the second copy of Jags. I'm not sure if this is a Jags matchup, though. In fact, I don't think it is. I'm going to cut the Jags from the main deck. And I could see Verdict, or I could see Transmogrifade. I think I'm going to put in Transmogrifade just because it tags Flickering Gobbler, and that card's really annoying. Let's try this configuration. I'd like to play first. Yeah, sounds pretty sweet. It's probably going to be split pretty even, Martyr Punk. Before I was doing like 2/3 magic on the last one and like a third hex, but I think I'm probably just going to split it close to the middle. A lot of the subs that contributed for that long stream came from magic subs, so... In fact, I mentioned in the post talking about the long stream on Saturday, I'm going to be playing a scheduled event on Magic Online, which has rounds based on attendance. So I'm probably going to play Hex in between my matches in the mocks. Play this, and let's play Stormcloud. So the important thing to remember when we're getting our thresholds with things like the Cobblestone here is that this deck needs 2 diamond, 1 sapphire, and 1 ruby in order to play everything. We also need 2 diamond thresholds in order to activate Rutherford Banks. So that's something that's come up a few times. Been a little awkward to meet that. His Ragefire to kill my Stormcloud, a little unfortunate. Didn't get to make any guys out of him. Guys or gals. Play this Crackling Vortex out here and play Lanipoise Sight, get some card advantage going. Hopefully my opponent plays Lanipoise Sight next turn, and then we get to go ahead and just Azure Fate Sorceress and bury all his prophesied cards. That would be hot. Hey, Stank. Yeah, just chilling, you know. My youngest is asleep already. My oldest is kind of mellow, so... And this one draws a card because it's prophesized. So let's lead on that. I'm going to get my second diamond here. Ooh, that's an Azure Fate Sorceress that draws a card. So let's just play this out and mill him a little bit here. And when I say mill, that's a magic term that I'm used to using. Mill means what I'm referring to when I say that is it buries cards off the top of their deck, which were 4 chards in a row apparently. Okay, well then. I think when some of these other CCGs come out of beta, I might do a variety day. And like do like 1 or 2 Friday streams a month that are like a variety. Maybe the Lady Shimmer combo isn't great in this matchup. I don't know. Maybe the actual combo aspect is supposed to be more focused for like the mid-range and control decks. I'm gonna go ahead and play Shard of Purpose here, I think. The Modern GP and Indie. It's not a hard and fast no. But I'm not going to say I'm for sure going to be at that. So I could play Azure Fate Sorceress, or I could play Mirror Knight. I'm going to play Azure Fate Sorceress because it's more resource efficient to do so. Although I guess it's kind of loose to do that considering he's got Phoenixes in his deck. So Phoenix is a card he can return from his crypt to play if he's got 6 actions in there with it. He's only got 2 actions right now, so I wanted to be more resource efficient than just like using this Mirror Knight though. Transmog my Azure Fate Sorceress turned into a. This enters play. Target troop if it's ready, exhausted. Otherwise, ready it. The old 1/2 Swift Strike Flight. Well, this keeps his Bumblebot back at least. We're taking 5 here. Dream Dance is pretty good. Ooh, I got a Lanopause site coming up too now. Let's go ahead and play Cobblestone here, which gives us a red. Thanks, Hero. So I can play Lanopause site, or I could play Cerulean Mirror Knight with troops are in my crypt. I just have an Azure Fate Sorceress because I have this active. That's a tough call. He's got the Flickering Gobbler that's going back and forth. I think I'd need to play Lanopause Sight and try and get ahead in cards right now. I'm going to throw this Moon Monk away that my opponent transmogrified my guy into next turn to soak up 4 damage from his Flickering Gobbler. Unfortunately, I didn't have one more resource there to go this plus this, but beggars can't be choosers. Hopefully we find a troop next turn that lets us draw discard thanks to our Dream Dance. Oh, he's shifting that over. That's terrifying. Oh, he doesn't have an action to play. That's good for us, so he's not playing the Flickering Goblin. I'm just going to hold this for now. So this card normally starts with the text, whenever you draw a card, it gains 1/1, and he can move that text onto something else. That's why whenever he draws a card, this one gains 1/1 now. Okay, that's a resource. Let's go ahead and play that. And that draws a card from our Lanopause site, and then Cerulean Mirror Knight draws a card when we play it from Lanopause site. Plus, it's going to draw a card and discard a card. Which one do I want to discard here? I think I'm actually going to discard the Gwaine because we can go Shield, Mirror Knight, and then return this to play. And that seems pretty reasonable. So let's go this. Huh. Yeah, Shield Trainer. Oh, I guess I did those in the reverse order. I could have given this more power and toughness. And I think we're gonna hold on to Lady Shimmer for now. I guess we're actually getting into combo range, right? Maybe I'm just supposed to hold off here. If I... Yeah, I think I missequenced here. So he's got... How many cards in his deck? He's got 41. Huh. I guess our combo gets blown out by him having a... Yeah, I'm actually going to return Azure Fate Sorceress to play. If he kills it, we get to draw a bunch of cards. And that milled him a whole bunch. I guess this lets him return a Phoenix to play, possibly. Which could be bad. It probably gives him enough to return Phoenix to play. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4... Only 5 actions in the crypt. Rutherford Banks for 7 charges returns a troop from your crypt to play. So that's why my Azure Fate Sorceress came back into play. And when she came into play, she got inspired by my Cerulean Mirror Knights here. So if he does kill this, we're going to draw 2 cards. And now Lady Shimmer here. I shouldn't have discarded this resource because I really want it now. Resource. God. Play poorly, get rewarded. And this is the combo. If he doesn't kill Azure Fate Sorceress here, he's going to get milled out. Yep. So this comes into play, and it mills him, and then we get a bunch of echoes of Lady Shimmer, which also mill him, and our opponent has no deck. So that's the combo finish I've been talking about. It's pretty sweet. Oh, and she flies, because Azure Fate Sorceress flies. Bury is the main win condition, that is correct. Opponent concedes because when you go to draw a card in Hex but cannot, you lose the game. So opponent will lose the game at the start of their next turn. Do I want to change how I reserved it all? I don't think I do. Maybe I want some verdicts to protect the combo aspect of what we're doing. Yes. Yes, Hex is a completely free-to-play component where you can earn in-game currency that can translate to other things. Now, this is not my deck. One of my buddies has been working on it, and he's 5x'd a couple of gauntlets with it now. I kind of want a couple of Verdict of the Ancient Kings. Maybe a Blessings of the Fallen can go. And possibly a Sight or a Dream Dance. I guess Legionnaire is a solid medium. His troops flicker back and forth to his hand. Let's trim one of those and bring this in. Let's trim a Blessing and bring this in. That might be wrong. It might be right to cut the Dream Dance or the Lanu Pause Sight. Let's try it. Yep, we get 100% of the data that happens on Hex. So you can check out Hex meta there, and all the deck lists that do well in events get posted on there. You can check that out. You should check out if you're in the stream because you're familiar with my Magic background. You should check this out. Intro decks constructed for Magic players. Yeah, this hand's pretty powerful. We've got Arcane Focus, we've got Stormcloud, Lanu Pause Sight, we got Transmog to deal with an early troop out of him. I keep this for sure. If opponent has a particularly aggressive opener, we might have a little bit of trouble, but no Thunderfield. He's got the Seer. Rats. This is just a 1/1, but it does, those points add up. Crackling Vortex is a good draw, so let's just go Stormcloud into Crackling Vortex. I'll go ahead and play Arcane Focus here. Alright, I guess I'll take a shard. It's worth noting that our human Allegiance shard is not active right now. We don't have... This is a Elemental. Yeah, I need to look into getting just a neutral bot for commands and the messages. Because MTG bot is annoying because it fights with Hex. That's a Ruby shard that we don't need right now. So now I have a decision. I could play Stormcloud, and I think I'm just going to do that. It gives him a chance to use a burn here, but I know my next turn is going to be playing this Lanu Pause Sight, so I don't want to be resource inefficient this turn, really. If he doesn't have burn, playing this is fine, too. Sweet, he didn't have burn, so that's great. So next turn, if he doesn't have like a Crackling Bolt or a Rage Fire here, we get to play Crackling Vortex and make 2 Stormclouds with this. Alright, has the Crackling Bolt. Blah. 100 platinum is $1. It's platinum to a penny approximately. Let's play Diamond Shard out here and cast Lanu Pause Sight. Depending on how aggressive the rest of his hand is, this might give us enough time to get things going on here. This does run on OS X natively, and it actually runs on Linux via Wine. I'm streaming from a Linux computer right now. The 2 officially supported platforms are Linux and OS X, OS X and Windows, though. Well, hopefully we draw Edge of Fate Sorceress next turn so we can mill over his Lanoir-sighted cards. Him taking a turn to play Lanoir, though, does mean that he's not spending his turn adding more power to the table, so we are just at a pretty healthy 18 here. Alright, well, let's get Dream Dance going on here. We found a Cerulean Mirror Knight here. And you see that drew a card when we played it because of our previous prophecy things. Let's play our Sapphire Shard. And this will draw a card when we play it because of our previous prophecy card. We have a Verdict of the Ancient Kings, which is nice. We do, again, Rutherford Banks requires double Diamond Threshold to activate his ability, so we do need a second Diamond Threshold at some point. Like a Hoog bot, right? Link for tier 1 constructed decks. You can check on Hex Meta. My intro article explains how to use Hex Meta. Well, so we're taking 3, 4, 5, 6 here and going to 12. We have Transmogrifade next turn to deal with the Knob Gobbler, but we're not in a great spot right now. Cerulean Mirror Knight. Yep, let's play that. When it comes into play, we draw and discard a card from the previous thing. I probably want Verdict. I'm not sure I want Lanoir Sight at this point. It's going to let us loot through stuff, though. Maybe Blessings of the Fallen is too narrow. We just need cards that like get us ahead and interact with the board. Yeah, I'm going to bin the Blessings of the Fallen. And play this out and grab a Sapphire or a Ruby. And we have Verdict / Transmog up here. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Crackling Vortex so I can Verdict plus Transmog this turn. That's very possible. The Drago control deck isn't particularly good right now. I'm going to counter this to keep my guy alive. It's resource efficient as well. Saves us a point of damage here. Alright. That's a diamond shard. Oh, that was sloppy. That was super sloppy. So what I messed up there was I should have played Lanoir Sight first because it prophesies the next cards in my deck. Although I guess I wouldn't have been able to play this anyways because I already played a resource this turn, so it ultimately doesn't matter. Yeah, there's a tap-out control deck that's fairly good that I've been working on here on stream. I've had a lot of success with it. Yep. Scale of 1 to dead, looking pretty dead here. Alright, we're only taking 6 here and going to 4. So my Transmogrifade, why his guy turned into something else, it turns a troop into a random artifact constant troop that costs 1 less. So he turned his scary 3/2 into a 1/1, which is nice. I think we're on the 0 out of here, but, yeah, let's draw a card and find out. I guess this draws 2 cards. We could hit the card that deals damage based on being inspired, and then actually we're in an okay spot. We got 2 draws at that. Oop, that's a redraw. That'll loot. We already have double diamond here, so I'm going to bin this extra diamond shard. And then this looks at 3 cards, so we've got 3 looks at it. That's not it. That's really unfortunate. Now I believe we're drawing dead. We had outs, though. Stormcloud. Alright, what's in my crypt here? Because I can activate Rutherford Banks. Stormcloud has flight, so I could play Cerulean Mirror Knight plus Stormcloud and bring back another Stormcloud, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers and can block 1, 2, 3, 4 things and not technically be dead on board. Okay. So let's do that. I'm gonna bin this extra resource. Hopefully this. It's inspired by both of these. I'm gonna loot. I don't think I want another Mirror Knight at this point. I think I'd rather have a Verdict for like insurance. Yeah. I'm going to activate this and return this other Storm Cloud to play. And then assuming my opponent has Stone Nothing, which there's a very reasonable chance that my opponent does not have Stone Nothing. Like, we're dead to Burn, we're dead to Crackling Bolt, we're dead to a lot of things here. But in a world where they're just, like, very unfortunate, we could come back and win this game. He just ships with everything. So we block, take 2, go to 2. Why slow roll me? That's so sad. Man, we'd have gotten to draw. We probably would have won that game if he didn't have it there. So next turn, I wish I could pull it back up and say. So next turn, what would have happened is we would have played this Crackling Vortex, giving both of our Cloud guys here 2 charges. Then we'd sacrifice them to make two Storm guys each. And then when they each die, we'd draw a card. Plus we'd draw a card for a turn. And then each of the Cloud guys we could sacrifice to draw cards and do stuff. And probably hit the combo. All right. When I asked for advice on how to play the deck, my buddy shipped me the list. He said, don't keep hand without Sapphire. So we're not going to keep hand without Sapphire. So it has 2 Ruby cards in it. The shard base in this deck is, let's say, ambitious. Yeah, let's use the word ambitious. Interesting. Hatchery Tormentor. You want to sit in Dad's lap? Hi, toddler. Dad loves you. This is my oldest. This is Jacob. He's 2. Can you say hi, Jake? I'll start at your turn. Okay, sure. Grrrr. Alright, that gets us our Ruby, since we have humans in our hand. The old Rutherford Banks champion, no diamond in sight. So my opponent's champion activation, for 3 charges, it puts 3 Spiderling eggs into my deck, which, if I draw a Spiderling egg, my opponent gets a 1/1 unblockable troop. Which, thankfully, Legionnaire is pretty good at cleaning up. Ooh, this card's kind of scary. So, all spiders you have in play get 1 power for each venom he controls. And right now, he actually has 3 venom, so... No attack. I wouldn't have blocked, so he missed basically some free points of damage here. I'm not sure if I want to cast Linopoisite or Jags. The fact that he didn't attack last turn makes me want to cast this Linopoisite. I am very good. Check out this short article. It's a couple paragraphs. Check it out. And I try to kind of talk through what the cards are doing. The basics is we have troops that sit in play and combats, attacking and blocking. The big differences are the resource system works a little bit different. We have shards instead of lands, which give us these things called thresholds at the bottom. And basically, instead of like having to manage each specific resource making particular colors of things, all of our resources are just generic. So long as we have the thresholds to play a card, we can play it out. My opponent played a card here that puts 5 more Spiderling eggs in my deck and then discards a bunch of cards off the top. So my opponent's deck is a Spider-based deck, it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and play this Diamond Shard out here, which draws a card because of the Linopoisite that I played. I guess we're actually pretty lucky, right? Because he could have milled a bunch of our stuff there, and we thankfully dodged it a little bit. Ooh. We did finally hit a spider, though, and this spider is a 3/1 because of my opponent's Tribunal Magistrate here. You're right? Right? I am very lucky. Scale of 1 to lucky definitely starts with me. So my opponent's troop over here, at the start of each one of his turns, it transforms into a random other troop in play. That's scary. So this card at the start of my opponent's turn doubles the number of spider eggs that are in my deck, and then if I have 250 or more eggs in my deck, I lose the game. And this thing is unblockable, so he just has an unblockable 4/1 here, which again, kind of scary. I drew another spider egg. That's gross. No, I can't believe it, Jake. So we're going to play Jags out here. And let's see how many... There's going to be a lot of eggs in our deck at this point. We're probably going to have a pretty hard time winning. So at the beginning of his turn, this Brood Baron triggers, and it puts a ton of eggs into our deck. So we went from 57 to 73 cards. So our deck has like 40 eggs in it right now. Our saving grace here might be that this card, this Legionnaire of Gwaine, gets to come down next turn and deal a ton of damage to our opponent. So we're going to take 10 here because these guys are unblockable. And then hopefully we hit a bunch of spider eggs this turn because the Legionnaire is going to kill all of them. Yep, just all the spiders. Yep, more spiders, please. More spiders, more spooters. All of the spooters belong to me. So let's go ahead and Crackling Vortex here. And actually, you know what? We can activate my champion ability here, and he's milled over a bunch of cards. So Azure Fate Sorceress gives flight and mills things. So yeah, let's put Azure Fate Sorceress back into place. My champion ability returns a troop from my crypt into play. And when she comes into play, she's going to gain plus the toughness. She's going to deal double damage because of Jags. And she's going to, when she dies, she draws a card. And then we're going to play my Legionnaire of Gwaine here, which when he comes into play, he deals damage to the opposing troop, 1 damage for every time he was inspired. And he... Oh, crap, he had a Cerulean Mirror Knight. That made all those spiders draw cards. Well, that's scary. Well, hopefully we can just win the race here, because these guys fly and deal double damage. So my opponent milled a bunch of cards there because Azure Fate Sorceress makes this mill my opponent. So basically all of my cards power up each other when they come into play. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have the card called Extinction, which destroys all troops. That would be very bad for us, because we need our troops to kill them. I need my troops! Don't kill my troops! Don't do it! Have a heart! Spider enters play under your control. It deals 1 damage. Oh, jeez. I was going to say it doesn't matter how many spiders we hit, but now it... Oh, God, we could lose right here. Wow. Alright, how many eggs did we hit? Yep, we're still hitting eggs. Yep, probably dead. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. So, if we hit... Oh, he's still hitting spiders. Okay, yep. Probably dead here. Probably dead. There's 1 spider egg. Up. We're not. We're at 1, but unfortunately, our Our opponent gained enough life with this Vile Fang that our double damage flyers in the air can no longer deal lethal. They can only deal 12 total, which is unfortunate. We need him to hit 3 less spiders, which, statistically speaking, he was pretty much a favorite to hit all the spiders that he hit. So opponent goes to 3. GG's opponent. Or GG. We get to go to a post-reserves game. So, close game. We're a little bit too clunky at the start there. An estimated cost of this deck. I'm not sure which cards in this deck cost money. Genuinely have no idea. Buccaneer doesn't seem particularly good. Just I don't know if this card's good in general right now, actually. Legion. This card just is overperforming every time. I just always want to draw more of this card. Transmogrifade seems okay. Just like destroys something, or it reverts it and makes it less good. Jags was okay there, but I don't think it's going to be very good in general. Well, I guess it lets Gwaine clear his board, right? Maybe I'm supposed to trim the Lanupause. Yeah, I'm going to trim the Lanupause sites, actually, because my opponent is like discarding cards off the top of our deck, and we got very lucky that these did anything last game. Like very, very lucky. I'm going to just bring in the extra removal. Just give this a try. And I'm going to bring in the extra Ruby Shard over a Crackling Vortex. Since we're bringing in the extra Ruby cards. How's it going, Batman? Again, is it exciting? Daniel Tiger's funny. Don't keep hands without Sapphire. This is literally the same hand minus a card. Guess the other one didn't have Azure Fight. Am I keeping a 5 without Sapphire? I think this hand's really good if we had Sapphire. We might not really play much Hex this game if we don't find a Sapphire. Again, all the colorless shards are kind of ambitious. If we get a Sapphire, though, we're in a good spot. We get to Dream Dance. You can dance if you want to. You can leave these calves behind. Sapphire. Yay! So this is a triple shard. Once we have a human, and it makes Sapphire. Let's go ahead and get our Dream Dance on here. So now every troop we draw out of our deck from this point will have the line of text when you comes into play. We draw and then discard a card, which is sweet. Oh, I just clicked. I forgot to attack for 1. Yeah, there's no Chronic Madness in this configuration. He said it wasn't very good. So when this deals damage to us, it puts 2 eggs in our deck. No, my motto is both is ideal, but if you have to choose one, pick lucky. I think we want the shard at this point. Yeah, definitely the shard at this point. I want to just, like, have our shard drops. I think I'm okay offering this trade. I really don't want him putting a bunch of eggs in our deck just yet, and I don't think he's going to take it. I think he's just going to take 1 here. Yeah. I finished 5-1 in the gauntlet that I played that Prophecy Burn Listen to start. It seems really powerful. If you die, yep, exactly. I completely agree. I'm going to Transmogrifade this guy. Because this is the one that makes his Spooters better. You turn it into a 2-1 starter, you turn him, you choose a card in your hand, and transform into a random card with the same shards. Jovial Pippet. Sure, man. Yep, it's really Mirror Knight. When it comes into play, we get to draw a card and discard a card. I think I want the second diamond more than I want the Crackling Vortex at this point. I'm just going to pass because I think he'll block the Shield Trainer with his 2-1. I'm not sure, though. I think my my 1/1 that inspires is better than his 2/1, more valuable. It is worth noting that the Dream Dance is a bit worse when we don't have Lanupaw's Sight in our deck because we don't really have a way to amass card advantage, and Dream Dance is not card advantage, it's card selection. Surge Mechanism. Gain. Interesting. So let's accelerate every turn. So we can exhaust this with 2 resources and gain a permanent resource. That's pretty good. Slow, but powerful. You're not getting a second tablet. That tablet's not even charged. You don't want it. The old draw Ruby card we can't play. Perfect. Just like we drew it up. Mill him for 5. You choose a card in your hand, transform it into a random card of the same shards. Can you really pip it shards? Is that real? I guess it doesn't say non-shard, right? Jeb Jeb. Oh yeah, cause look here. Here's the original card transformed from Shard of Cunning. Okay, I didn't think about that. That's sweet. All right. Man, is Pippet playable? These are the questions I ask myself. Like I see this situation happen, and then I ask, is this playable? $5 Nation, thanks for all the streams and spreading the word about Hex. Thank you for watching and playing Hex. Hex is a lot of fun. I enjoy it. And we're going to be streaming a lot more Hex starting next week. So there's Brood Baron, which doubles the amount of spooters in my deck every turn. But we've got a 2/3 to block his 1/1 now, which is nice. Blessing of the Fallens, not bad. It actually doesn't do anything right now, right? So this card lets my Inspire troops that have died inspire my opponent's stuff. So we'll see how many eggs our deck goes up to now. We go from 56 cards to... So better try just in case. Exactly. To 65 cards. So we added 9 eggs to our deck. So there's 18 eggs in my 65 card deck right now. Opponent gets to activate this. And that puts us to 21 eggs in my deck. And the next turn... Oh, no! Don't kill my Azure Fate. Don't do it. Ah, God, we have to laugh. Because if we didn't laugh, we'd cry. Oh, the shard base in this deck is killing me. It's lost. So I played a gauntlet before this that did not go terribly well. And I wanted to try another. All right, well, we're going to block. Alright, well, mill you again, I guess. I can draw and discard. Yes! Perfect! Ding! Just what the doctor ordered. another Ruby card. Oh, how many spooters are in the deck? We went from 66 to... So there's 44 spiders in the deck right now. This is going to put 3 more. 47 spiders. If we get to 250 eggs in our deck, we lose the game. Oh, jeez, we're so dead. So when this comes into play, we bury cards from our deck equal to its power plus toughness. It's going to bury 12. Look at all the spooters. Oh, jeez. There's so many spooters. Oh, spooter power. Oh, no. Oh, no. Why not discard Jags? Because I'm an idiot. You would inspire. You are correct. You are 100% completely correct that I am an idiot. I did not think about Blessings of the Fallen at all. It was strictly incorrect to keep the Jags in my hand. We just win now if we hit a Ruby. Yeah, I think so. How many Inspire guys are in here? Wow! He didn't hit any inspired troops in all of that. Yeah. Okay. That's real. We're dead on board? I can only assume we're dead on board. Discard that one. Discard that one. Ah, spiders! There's so many spiders! Ah, spiders! GG, opponent. GG. Alright, we're gonna try. Third time's the charm, right? Oh no, Hex, come back! Alright, this is where I insert my normal disclaimer if you haven't heard it before. I'm playing Hex on an unsupported platform. So that crash is probably that's fault. I am a Linux junkie. I'm a nerd, believe it or not. And I like Linux. That's what I use. And they don't officially support Linux, but I can run the Windows version of Hex on Linux using a technology called Wine. And generally it runs fine, but occasionally it just vomits on itself. But other than the occasional vomit, works great. So I keep using it rather than install Windows or pay a lot of money for a Mac, because Macs are expensive. Yeah, I like Linux better than OS X anyways, but you know, the being cheaper part definitely helps too. Yeah, Pengu Power, it definitely feels like it needs something. I've lost, I want to say 3 or 4 games at least to the shard base at this point, which is a large number of games to have lost to the shard base. The crackling vortexes, honestly, it might just not want to play crackling vortex. In all honesty, like that, I just like cut the crackling vortexes, play like 2 more dual shards and 2 more non-dual shards, and like it's a 3-color deck that's trying to play 4 colorless shards or shardless shards or whatever you want to call them. So opponent's playing Sir Giles, which this is a tribal champion, which for 4 charges, it targets a troop, and all troops that share a trait with that troop gain 1 power permanently. This hand actually, I think this is one of the first hands we've looked at tonight that like, yeah, this hand's good. No, Rutherford Banks is pretty good. The being able to put something back into play is pretty great. Well, I guess I'll take this Blessing of the Fallen, you know, the illusion of choice. Diamond on 1. Looks like my opponent's playing a human tribal deck. So, the War of the Humans. Let's play the Diamond Shard and get our Dream Dance going on here. Yeah, I agree. I've lost infinite. Alright, so my opponent's troop is a 2-1 for 1, and he can sacrifice it and pay a resource to put another troop he controls back into his hand. So basically, it's a protection card. We're going to go ahead and play this. I'm just going to play Buccaneer. This lets us draw and discard when we play it, and we can just bin this Shield Trainer since we have Blessings of the Fallen. It also returns a troop my opponent controls to their hand. So Chest War, yep. Basically... Do you want to block? Yeah, I think I'm just blocking. Seems fine. Sure, reserve our life total against the aggressive deck. Here we go again, searching for you. Yep, exactly. And you can see there's a red 2 here, because this is the troop we returned to my opponent's hand. He had to pay twice as much for it this time around. If we hit a ruby, this Legionnaire of Gwain's gonna be real good. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna Stormcloud. That's fine. Draw, discard. Yep, we're gonna bin the old Jaggeroony there. And let's put that into play. Get a little charge going on. Do I want to just sack this and get a guy? I feel like I want to just sack this and get a guy, because a 1/1 trades with my opponent's 2/1s. I can sacrifice this to draw a card. Oh, I'm such a sucker for drawing cards, too. I do love drawing me a 4 card. The ruby sources, I think it's 4 cobblestones and 2 duels, which is not a lot. Right, now here's the real question. Do I sack this to draw a card, or do I trade? I think I sack this to draw a card, because I just like drawing cards. Another Blessing of the Fallen. Thankfully, even though the second blessing doesn't do anything, it will. We can loot it away with the Dream Dance when we draw another troop here. Look at that. With your troop. Shard. Ruby Shard. Ruby Shard. Ruby Shard. Ruby Shard. Daddy needs a Ruby Shard. Well, card we can't play this turn. It's basically a Ruby Shard, right? Same difference. Alright, yep, we're just going to trade here. Try and preserve our life total while we set up. It's a lot of guys. Need the Ruby Shard soon, please. Soon, please, Ruby Shard. Ruby Shard. If we see Ruby Shard here, we're actually in a really good spot. We have to hit it, so let's go digging. Cobblestones, please. Cobblestones, please. Cobblestones, please. I need cobblestones. I need me some cobblestones. We're 18 cards into my deck. I just wanted some cobblestones. I'm taking that because it can block. Crackling Vortex, perfect. Look at, oh wait, we still can't play any of these cards. All right, what am I doing here? What are we doing? I guess we're discarding this, and then we're gonna play this, and then sack this to make some guys. It's unfortunate I didn't have blessings out when I did that. Maybe I'm supposed to wait. Maybe I'm supposed to take a hit for a turn, because then we could draw a shard and possibly blessings next turn. Yeah, that was probably incorrect, because we have Cerulean Mirror Knight in here and a Shield Trainer in here that could have both inspired these. Now that I messed up, though, so he's not attacking with that. Yeah, I'm just going to use one of these as a gain 3. Alright, let's go. Blessings here, which means that this gets inspired by the stuff in the crypt. Shard, shard, shard. Alrighty, well, I think I'm going to bin the site at this point. We need a diamond shard now is what we're looking for, so we can activate Rutherford Banks next turn. Am I supposed to sack this? Actually, if I sack this, we get to draw a card. We don't create anything, but we get to draw a card, and then if we hit a ruby or a diamond, we can clear his board. Yeah, I'm going to do that. When it dies, we draw a card. God bless America. Isn't that sure? The 3 life's not relevant. We're not going to win this game by racing. Most likely, we're going to win this game by a lot or a little. Or not. We're not going to win this game in little bits. We're going to win this game by a lot, or we're going to lose by a lot. Most likely. Sure. This time I'll sacrifice it to exhaust this thing, so he doesn't gain the life. You are technically correct that is optimal. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think it will matter. But you are correct in that it is technically correct to do it the way we just did. Diamond shard, please, dealer. Please, dealer. All I needed was a diamond shard. All right, so I think we shield trainer because this draws and discards. So we get 2 draws of a diamond shard here. Or cobbly stones. That's not what we asked for, because I can't even activate Rutherford Banks. Do you see what you do to me, Klutz? Do you see what you do to me? Please, cobblestones, diamond shard, dual shard. Ah, crackling vortex! Ah! Ah! Oh, God. Are we dead? We're not dead on board, right? I'm not dead yet. Man, if I would have cut all these stupid crackling vortexes, we'd win this game. God, we'd win this game so hard. Man, these thresholds, you're not wrong. At least my opponent doesn't have red for his thing. All right. Move to blocks. Block there. Trade here. Take 6. Go to 4. This draws a... That does not draw a card when it dies because it does not cost that little. You're not wrong. So we're... God, have we even milled any of them? I wish we could see what shards we played. I don't think we've played any cobblestones this game. We're just like 26 cards into the deck without one. Come on, please. Yay! Oh, God, it was there! It was there the whole time! Oh! Oh, jeez. Sorry, I was excited. Get him dead. Get out of here. Rawr! Maybe I should just be holding shards since all of our troops loot when they come into play. Alright, actually he's dead next turn, right? Because this deals double damage. Okay, so he's dead next turn if we don't die this turn. He could go Ruby burn us, though. Alright, well, I explained what just happened. So, this card, when it comes into play, deals damage to every opposing troop equal to the amount of times it was inspired. And my opponent can see it, so I can't stop showing you cards. And there had another constant in play that lets all of my inspired troops function while they're in my crypt. And then my champion, which I needed the second diamond to be able to use his ability, allows me to return a troop from my crypt to play. So, the Legionnaire came in, swept his board, and then was inspired a bunch, so it deals a bunch of damage. So I'm just boarding in this Ruby Shard, and it's just always going to be... In fact, if we win this match, it's going into the main deck for this gauntlet. Alright, what do I want here? Probably just some more removal. Transmog's good against 1-drops. Solitary Exile's a solid medium. Buck is fine here, that's for sure. Probably don't need all the Blessings of the Fallen. Maybe I can trim a Crackling Vortex so we just don't need 24 shards. I probably don't need Jags, right? Like, I don't need to deal double damage to kill most of his things. Like, the Legionnaire just, like, doing, like, 2 points of damage clears his board most of the time. Maybe Solitary's slow and I don't want 2 of them. Could have Dream Dance, maybe? I think I like Dream... Blessings is blah. Let's leave the Dream Dance, could have Blessings. Let's do that. Three birds, 2 crackling bolts. Yep. God, good thing he was more shard screwed than we were. This hand is slow, but it's okay. I'm going to keep it. Hey, look, we have both our ruby shards this time around, and neither of them are going to make ruby. One's making sapphire and one's making diamond. Mr. Owen. Want to buy some shards, want to buy some shards. I'm going to play this as diamond, which might bite us at some point, but, you know, whatever. Look, it's counted as a third color in every match we've been playing tonight. It's a good draw. To exile this, put him in the cage. He's even got his little fingers grasping at it. Rawr. Ugh. Ugh. Hey, Gin and Tonic. I mean, 3-1's pretty good on this board. Until he goes Ruby Shard, activate my champion ability. Then a 3-1 becomes fairly mediocre. Oh, sweet. That's good for us. Ugh. I'm glad we won game 1. Down to 6. This makes William deal double damage, right? Yeah. Frost Wizard. I can just never win. I'm going to go with I can never win for 100. Alright, well, go to the next game. Bring in the extra solitary exile. Klutz, I don't know how you're winning with this deck. It's pretty poopy. Like, I haven't played a Cleveland Steamer this bad in a long time. It's pretty steamy. Check this out. I got a link just for you. Check it, see. Check it, see. It's fine. I burn my platinum for the greater good. So other people don't have to burn their platinum playing things like this. Only Klutz. Klutz is like, what's your worst gauntlet with this? Like 4-3? You must be far luckier than I am. Or you're just a wizard and I'm an idiot. It might be a healthy mix of the two in all honesty. I'm not gonna Dream Dance. This hand's pretty good. If I hit some shards here, so we're gonna get my cobbles on and cast my cantrip. Oh, there's our ruby shard. Wish granted. I'm not sure. Is WorkerBot here? Yeah, WorkerBot's here. I'm not sure what his command, the default command is for that though, offhand. All right, if we hit some shards here, curving. All right, if we hit some shards, we're gonna be in a really good spot because Mirror Knight into Stormcloud is just busted. How often do you go Mirror Knight into Stormcloud clutch without them getting broken up? Because that alone wins a lot of games. Like these two. This card is just like vomit-inducing. Oh, he's got Ruby for the first time all game. Arcane Focus does not reveal the chosen card. You put one of them into my hands. He has Burn for my Mirror Knight. Well, that's unfortunate. Hopefully we hit a shard so we can play Landing Pause Site and pull ahead. That would be ideal. Even hit the Diamond Shard. What a skill game my opponent and I are playing. Which Ruby? Oh, the one my opponent's playing? I don't know. You can look. My opponent's username is... I can't zoom in. How I Met Leona. You can search on Hex Meta for his gauntlets to see how he's been doing. I haven't posted formal thoughts on the ladder anywhere. That could be good later. I think I'm going to go Shield Trainer into Stormcloud. Although, nah, Buccaneer's way better here. It doesn't get inspired by Shield Trainer, but just like bouncing his 3-2 sounds like the nut. And then we get to block his 2-1. This is probably one of the worst things that could have hit with that, but it's also going to be powerful when we get to play it eventually, so we're not sad about having it. Exactly, right? The game we kept the one-sharder. Just like curve out perfects. Block. I would like to block. Block. Yep. Makes me sad that this card's not very well positioned right now, because I love when this card is good. The first Hex deck I built had 2 of these in it, and that and Time Ripple. It's just like... So nummy. So nummy. Well, that's great. So we're going to go Shield Trainer into the Stormiest of Clouds, into Sapphire Shard, Mirror Knight. Sweet. So now we're going to wait to pop this guy. So we can sack this guy to make little duders. But ideally, we're going to draw a Shard next turn and then go Mirror Knight, Shard, crack this to get some duders. It's Mana War, but it makes their card cost +1 restore, so it's like a tempo kill too on top of being, you know, Mana War goodness. Yeah, Mana War with upside is a good way to put it. So my opponent's probably gonna ship here. If he ships with both, yeah, I'm gonna block here. I think that trade's good for us. It's like trade my 1/1 for his 3 power guy. Means Gwaine is weaker later. Shield Bash. That's gross. I'm not happy with that trade. Please be a resource on top of my deck. Crackling Vortex would be the nut here. No joke. Look at that. It's a card where you are unable to play. Raise your hand if you're surprised. No one should be raising their hand right now. Good. All right, well, we're going to play this. And then we're going to sacrifice the Stormcloud and get 1 idiot. Hopefully it's the one that deals 2 damage to an exhausted troop. Please, please, please. If it was the one that dealt damage to an exhausted troop, we could just kill his William Rowan and draw a card and then hopefully hit a shard for the Solitary Exile. But nothing is coming together right now, so that's not an option. No, stop it! Don't make your cards better. Don't do it. Don't do it. Alrighty, sacrifice this. Exhaust that one. I joke. Look, I kid. What an I word indeed. So we're taking 8, just casual 8s here. NBD, no big deal. Just like on a scale of 1 to ranch, just like thoroughly at the ranched end of the scale. Do we have outs here? So if I solitary exile, I have to chump next turn. If I play this, I have to double chump. But if I play this and double chump, at least this draws a card. The 1/2 guy says it inspires other troops in my hand, or when I play them, so that way when they die, we draw a card. Prob should have taken one more and exhausted. I mean, if his stupid wolf thing comes out, it doesn't really matter. So I'm pretty sure we're just drawing straight dead at this point. But, you know, we'll find out. That's why I play the games. Move to blocks. Trade. Oh, I can't trade there. I have to trade here. Jump here. Because this one doesn't fly. Cracking Vortex lets me return something from the crypt to play. So, as the kids say, you're saying there's a chance. That's all I need. All I need is a chance. You're letting me know that there's a chance. So we're going to put this Azure Fate Sorceress back into play. And when it comes into play, it buries some cards off my opponent's deck. And then if my opponent doesn't have a burn, we're in a real good spot. Please don't have a burn. 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 Don't do it. Don't tell someone tell me when we're past it. Nope, nope, he's going to do it. Oh, nope, have a heart. Have a heart. Don't do it to me. Don't do it. I want to win a match. I want to win an entire match. I know it's greedy. I'm asking for a lot. Oh, good. Oh, good. He's just returning William Rowan. Oh, God. Pew, 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 pew. Kill the Frost Wizard. The wizard has died. Oh, God. We're going to win. We're going to win. Yeah, I don't want him to have a burn. We'd die if he had a burn. I would like to block, please. I could jump with this and draw a card. If I jump with this, I draw a card. I kind of want to do that. Yeah, I don't want him to have a burn because we die. Come on now. Alrighty. Who would draw a card and who would trade? Chump that. Yeah, I kind of like Chump Then Exile. Because this gets to fight his other stuff in combat much better. Yeah, I mean, we're dead to any sort of reach. So, like... Ugh. I have to use this exile to deal with Rowan, so we're dead to a martyr effect here, but that's just oh, it had Grace on it. Yeah, we knew that. Okay. That's fine. Oh wait, it's still the... Is that how that works? Okay. That's not how it works in Magic, but deal. That's not how my opponent was expecting it to work here. I wonder if that's a bug or a feature. It's definitely one of the two. An opponent's got a bunch of live draws to just ranch us at any point here, so... So it tracks the targeting even though the card changes zone. C, it's still the target feature. Okay, so for those of you that play Magic, and you don't know, I'm a professional Magic player. In Magic, how that works is whenever a card changes zones, even if it returns to the zone where it was originally targeted, it's considered a new instance of that card, would no longer be targeted by it. Ah, he bricked. That's so good for us. What could he have possibly drawn? Because if he has a shard, he would have played it, right? Because if he draws running shards, he gets to activate this. Escort, sure. Transmografade. Yeah, this transmog draws a card because it's prophesized, so I'm just going to kill his 3-1 here. And maybe I'm supposed to save this for his flying guy. Yeah, it's possible that's sloppy and I'm supposed to hit the flying guy. Well, I'm just going to keep playing these shards since if we draw one more, we can reanimate something again using the old Rutherford Banks activation. We're just like, we're living on borrowed time here, let's be honest. He's going to just draw a burn or a crackling bolt and ranch us at some point soon. I think he was holding a shard, which is incorrect. He definitely should have been playing shards out of his hand. Well, that's pretty good. I'm going to get to gas up here. That means our borrowed time continues to walk on. Please don't kill me, opponent. How many burns and stuff did he hit in his crypt that we mulled so far? He's got 1 crackling, 3. There's no, don't say GG. Don't do it. Don't have a heart. All right, Klets.